Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of the 505 podcast. Welcome back. We have our second guest today on the show.
Big day, guys. Big pod.
Huge.
It's raining in LA,
Pouring.
but it's sunny in here because we got a star in the building. We got our boy Troy Osterberg.
Troy, welcome to the
That
show.
was like the nicest intro I've ever received. So thank you guys.
I was thinking about it all day. I was like, oh, that's
Cuz is like, that's gonna hit the nail on the head. Perfect. What's up, boys? How are you?
Good.
We're
Welcome
good.
to the show. We're happy to have you. We've been anticipating this one for a minute. Kostas
appreciate
talks very
that.
highly of you.
Thank you. I don't know why, but I appreciate that. Thank you.
So for those of you who don't know, me and Troy go pretty far back. I've known him for a minute,
Way back.
and
High school days.
not
No.
quite.
Womb days.
Yeah,
We were actually in the same womb together.
yeah.
There it is.
Shit was crazy.
Yeah, crazy.
Dude, she was turned back in the day, huh? So Troy, for those of the viewers and listeners who don't know you, why don't you give us
Listen,
a little Spark Notes?
If you don't
elevator
know
pitch?
who I am, then I want you to just get off this podcast right now because you need to know who Troy Boy Mother Truck. Can we curse on this thing?
Yeah,
dude.
absolutely.
Okay.
Let them flow. Let 'em just
Troy
fire
Boy
away.
motherfucking swag is. I'm totally joking. Hi guys, I'm Troy. I've known Kostas for way too long, but still love him. People say, I don't know. I don't want to say I'm a TikToker. I don't want to say like I'm a social media kid, but I guess that's like what I do. So I guess that's what you're funneling me into.
Why don't you like saying that?
It just has a stigma. You know, I don't want to be like, oh, Troy Osterberg, the TikToker. Sure, I'd say creative, but I don't consider myself a very creative person.
I feel like you got to be creative, though, to come up with 3 TikToks a day like you were telling me before the show.
This is true.
This is true.
This
This
is
isn't a
true.
lie.
But at the same time, it's just kind of like stuff that I run in my daily life. So it's not really like, it's not like I'm putting very much thought into it. It's more like, hey guys, you want to make a TikTok, put it out and just see what happens. And if, the cat knocks over the vase behind us and it gets
Then
a million views, then
bang.
if you call that creativity, then therefore Troy Osterberg is a creative and a social media / TikTok / all that other
There it
stuff. Yeah.
I would argue though that you are pretty creative because you do, for as long as I've known you, even before you started doing the TikTok stuff, which we'll get into, you were always like designing clothes, doing fun stuff on your Instagram stories,
Sure.
like bits and stuff.
Sure.
You did act, or you still act, but
I still,
Yeah.
I guess it's like, yeah, it's a creative outlet, but I don't know, man. I just don't consider myself like a creative. Like I look at you guys and I'm like, these kids are very creative. Like they see life a different way because you guys have like this tiny little like square in which you guys blow up and capture like amazing events or just moments in time, which I'm like, wow, that's super cool. That's super creative.
But I'm impressed by what you do because you're just you're on top of everything that's going on right now. And you're crushing the #1 app that we've seen probably in our time, right? Like right now, I feel like TikTok's
Sure.
the hottest app.
Sure.
Right?
for right now, yeah.
For right now,
Yeah.
what we've seen, this is the hottest app, and you're doing well at it. So
Thank you.
I would consider you a top creator on the app. You know,
Listen, this
You know
is what
I'm
I
saying?
say. When people say, Troy, what do you do for a living?
What do you say?
I just say I vibe. I
It's the
literally
most
just
LA
say,
answer I've fucking ever
It
heard.
is, but like that's literally what I do. I'm just like a personality on TikTok. I don't know why people watch me. I don't know why people follow me. I don't know why people like me. If anyone's like, "Oh my God, you're all over my For You page," half the time I'm like, "I'm so sorry. You have full permission to block me or delete me or say whatever you need." But no, it's nice. It's fun. Sure, in certain ways, I'm like, okay, wow, that was cool. That was a creative way of thinking or like laying out that video, if you will. But dude, it's just like, I just make videos that Troy likes to do. So I guess in a way, everybody's a creative.
Yeah.
And
But I will argue though, like I don't consider myself the most creative person, but I think in the act of trying to be creative and trying to create something,
Sure.
you kind of end up, being a little bit creative. I think that anyone who is a creative or does stuff creatively, it was never going to be like, oh, I'm the most creative person ever, because we feel like we take from we're
Agreed.
inspired from other
Agreed.
people, all that
Sure.
kind of stuff. But take us back to when I guess it kind of started for you. Like, I mean, you're doing TikTok now, but you started off doing the acting thing. So can you talk a little bit about that?
I started modeling at 13.
Okay.
Do you want me to look there?
No,
you want me to
look
look
at
at
look at us.
Okay,
Yeah, look at
okay.
us.
Sorry, I was
Dude,
just
your
cutting you off this
no, you're
entire
good.
Your
time.
profile is
You're good.
incredible, dude.
Does
so-
it look okay?
Yeah.
Okay. I started modeling at 13. Well, the whole reason being was at 13, my mom said, you should get into acting. So at 16, you could buy yourself a car.
Okay.
See, I never knew this.
Okay. So I went to get my headshots done. And I walk in, I'll never forget the guy's name, Peter Hurley. I walked in, he goes, so are we just doing, headshots for this or for that? And we're like, oh, just for some little bit of acting, or a little bit of modeling. And he goes, why don't you just do the whole 9 yards? And I go, what do you mean? He goes, why don't you do that and commercial and print and theatrical, which is acting. And I was like, well, I never really thought about that, but like, okay, sure. Like, why not? So because of that gentleman, I decided to submit like headshots out to all the agencies, got called overnight, and then got an agency literally within 24 hours of like taking the photo, or I guess submitting the photo. I don't know how long it took to get back. And some agent like picked me up. I think I had an audition like 2 days later, and I never really thought about the whole acting thing. Like the whole motive was at 16, I'll buy myself a car after getting like a couple little like,
Little side jobs.
little
or whatever,
shitty
whatever
like
that's
I
gonna
like
look yeah.
model, print, whatever you want to call them, jobs. Long story short, things like kind of took off and like did all right, and I was like on Disney, which was like really cool, and I got a couple like feature films which were also like a lot of fun. But then like COVID hit, man, and I feel like that's where the whole TikTok persona kind of arose, if you will.
And you're not the only one. I feel like a lot of people during COVID were like, dude, I'm stuck at home. Like,
Yeah,
let's
why
make some
not?
fucking
Let's make some
TikToks.
TikToks and let's see where this whole thing can go.
I was really fired up about this podcast, and here's why. This was like the only one I really wanted to do for the year of like 2021, 2022 going into it. I was like, I really want to do this podcast because I want everyone to know like how this all began. And Kostas knows exactly what I'm talking about.
Go for it. Yeah, let them know.
I'm looking at the camera for this. I owe this man sitting in front of me, Kostas Garcia, basically like my entire like career right now. Here's why. I did like a TikTok, I think like, when was it? 2 years ago or a year and a half ago or something like that.
It must have been. I'm so like, time for me
Yeah,
right now
it's
is
just-
so
right?
Yeah, for
It's
the
so
past
confusing.
2 years.
I'm like, I don't even know how long certain stuff is.
So I'd say a little over a year and a half ago, I made like a TikTok because my friend was like, "Oh my God, have you heard of this new like app called TikTok?" And I go, "I don't know what that is." She's like, "Let's make a video." So I like downloaded the app, made a video. It was like some crummy like, as everyone's first video is, it's always like some shitty video. And I like tried for like a week or two, but put in like actual effort because I was like, "Oh, this is cool. This is like fun." And then
Were you
I just,
addicted to it? Were you?
No.
Oh, no.
No,
Okay.
because I just got discouraged. I was like, this is such a shitty app. All people would rather care about is watching a 16-year-old dance, being Charlie D'Amelio. No shade, no disrespect. It was just like, I'm not a 16-year-old and I don't dance. So like, therefore this app isn't for me.
You give Troy a few drinks though. He gets down on the dance floor.
No, dude. That's Kostas. So I'd say like, I was like, this is a stupid app. I deleted it. I let it go. And I was just like trying to figure it out. I was still acting at the time, but it was like difficult because like, most agencies or offices were like all closed. So you didn't really go in for auditions anyways. The whole like modeling side was like closed. Like everything just shut down. LA was just like shut down, and we're sitting there in the midst of COVID, or in the beginning of COVID, just trying to figure it out. So I'll never forget, I was sitting there, I was working for my dad, and I'm sitting at a laptop just like inputting numbers, dude, just anything that like a fucking 21-year-old, or I don't know, 22, 23-year-old like doesn't want to do, right? And I get a phone call from Kostas Garcia, and Kostas calls me and he goes, "Bro, I don't know what you're fucking doing with yourself, man. You're losing out on TikTok. You're such an idiot." He didn't say I was an idiot, but he was like, "You're missing out. It's a great opportunity. Like, I don't know what you're doing. Like, why wouldn't you take why wouldn't you go for it?"
Well,
I
I'll
go,
say this. You want to do music, and we'll get into that as well.
Okay.
And we got into, Troy's telling me how he's like, working for his dad, doing that stuff, wanting to do the music stuff, working on music. And I'm like, dude, like you got to have a platform to put out your music. If you want to take it seriously and like make something of the music, you should probably try to have an audience to get it out to when you release music.
Yeah.
Which we're still waiting on, but that's another story. But I was like, dude, you should get on TikTok. And the reason I told you to do it is because I saw the way you would do your acting stuff. And I was like, this kid's really talented. And also how you do your little bits on Instagram story. I was like, dude, this kid, like, you just get it. You have it, like, obviously. I was like, dude, I don't know what you're doing. You'd crush on TikTok.
Yeah.
And
he's sitting there and he's telling me all of this. And
and like as a friend, I'm like mad at him because I'm like, dude, like, I see the potential.
Yeah.
I was like, dude, if you just put some time into it, you would crush.
It was a little bit of a heated conversation. And it wasn't like we were yelling at each other.
No.
It was just Kosa's just for like, and whenever Kosa and I are on the phone, it's always like an hour-long conversation, if not two. And it was just him for like an hour just grinding me, just like, bro, I don't know what you're doing. Why aren't you doing it? Why aren't you doing it? And I go, Kosa's not for me. But dude, I think that Kosa's, it's not for me. But I think you could, and then the whole thing that kind of like the switch was, he goes, listen, man, you're trying to pursue music because I really enjoy music. He goes, imagine in 6 months from now, you have 10,000 followers. He goes, that's 10,000 followers more than you would have, or 10,000 more listeners than you would have right now. And I was like, you know what? Kids got a point. I was like, so how about this, Costas? And Costas had followers at the time. I didn't.
I had maybe like 30K on
He had
TikTok.
like 30K. I had like 1,000.
Okay.
I had 1,000. He had 30K. And I go, Costas, let's make a bet. Because I'm a very competitive person. I grew up playing sports all my life, and I just like to win.
Because Troy has a huge ego. So
I
it's
do
like,
have a huge ego. When it comes to something that's there, when it comes to competition.
I almost feel like you hate to lose more than you like to win.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, very true. Because, yeah, that would have sounded, yeah. So I was like, let's make a bet, Costas. And he's like, what's the bet? And I was like, first video, we both make videos. First one to hit 100K wins like $100. And he was like, no, bro, that's too much money. Because we were like dirt poor at the time. We don't have a pot to piss in. And I was like, come on, Costas. And he's like, no, dude, no, $20. Costas like $20 can't even buy you a Chipotle bowl with guac anymore. You know, I was like, what am I gonna do with fucking $20? So I was like, all right, cool, like whatever. I just wanted the competition because I knew it'll like get me going. So we made the bet. I think like 2-3 days later, I call up Costas. I'm like, yo, where's my money at, bitch? and that was cool. And then it kind of just like sparked the flame, man. It just like added fuel to the fire, and I just started running with it. That's probably when COVID really started hitting. So therefore I wasn't going out on auditions. I didn't go to any of my coachings or anything like that. And with that being said, I didn't have like an acting coach. So how else was I supposed to like brush up on or like fine tune my acting skills? So literally all I did was sit at a desk and just go like this. And literally just run voiceovers of Matt Damon, Zac Efron, Ryan Reynolds,
Scott
Disick. And I would just sit there and I'd be blah, blah, blah. I would take like 20, 30 takes. And then I would sit there and I'd be like, how can this be better? What can I do here? And I would just sit there in my room for like an hour and just like critique myself and watch. And then I would like try to improve it. And then one of them one of them I liked. So I like threw it out online. And that thing just
goes viral.
Just took off, man. And I've never received so many DMs. Everyone was duetting it, and I feel like I found the secret sauce in that point because it was like
I remember this video that got duetted, I think. Wait, what was it? Which one was it? Was it in black and white?
no, because I've done a lot since.
Okay, that have been.
But that was the one where it was like wood chipper.
Don't act like you
the
don't
wood
remember.
chipper. It was the wood chipper.
What?
The wood chipper one.
How much wood could a wood chuck?
No.
That's what I was like.
No. It was a scene from Hall. I think it was Hall Pass or something like that. And it was like, you want to kill me? Yeah. How would you do it? A wood chipper.
Oh.
And it was
yeah.
wood chipper. Yeah. What do you mean? He's like, well, you ever see Fargo? And she's like, no. And he's like, pff. Like it was something like that.
Yeah,
and basically what everyone liked about it was that they can all duet it. And it was like a fun, flirty scene.
Yeah.
So basically my secret sauce for that time being was I'm going to make videos in which people can duet, in which they put on their platform, in which they broadcast to people like that. And it was just a full snowball effect for me. So for a while I was like, oh, dude, I found it. And it was, I was growing and growing and growing. And then, so anyway, sorry, I took that a little bit too far, but my whole reason being, and the reason I'm here, not the reason I'm here, but the reason I'm so excited for this podcast is I feel like I owe you a huge thank you, my boy. And if it wasn't for Costas Garcia, I just want to formally say thank you for you changed my life in a way.
You're welcome,
you really
dude.
did change my life.
It's just what I'm here
and
for. It's just what I do.
It doesn't seem like very much, but 505 of podcast guys will change your life.
There it is.
You know, you're not the first person who's said that to me, whose life I've changed. So it's just another day at the office. But
he's like, I'll invoice you.
no, honestly though, it was I was just like, yo, Troy, get on TikTok, and that's really all I did. And you took it from there.
And you've taken off though on the platform.
Dude, 6 months. Remember when Kostas was like, dude, imagine 6 months you have 10,000 followers. I think in 6 months I had like 500,000 followers.
Crazy.
And it just started going. And at one point I got like stagnant. At one point the acting video was kind of like, you know, because you run it until it dies.
Yeah.
And it got kind of like a little stagnant and I started to fall off. And then one day I like started opening my mouth on the platform. That's when I just saw it go.
When you started talking like physically to the
Dude,
camera.
once you start talking, my goodness, that thing caught. And I was like, whoa, dude. And for I just knew how to like work it. And I was like, people really care to hear like what you have to say, which is the same exact reason that people are listening to your podcast. Like people are very like naturally like curious creatures. So they just want to hear what people have to say. What can I learn from that person? Like, how do I compare? How do I differentiate myself from, you know, one another? And yeah, dude, all it was opening my mouth and it just.
And so have you had to change like the content that you've put out? So you said you were a lot of acting stuff.
Yeah, a lot of acting stuff.
Now what does it look like? Because now you have like your friends in them. You have all kinds of different creators like showing up on your page.
Yeah,
It's not only just yourself, right?
Sure. It's not just myself because what I've realized recently is the more authentic you can be and the more like one take, not try so hard you can be, the more it's just like, oh, he's just a real person. And once people can connect with a person being like, oh, you know, he's just your average Joe. Then I feel like people like that more because, like I said, they just connect with you more than they'll connect with a Kim Kardashian who's at the Met Gala all the time. People love her and people idolize her, but like I just don't think that as many people can connect with someone like that as opposed to, you know, a Noah Beck or Addison Rae, maybe if you will.
Or Troy Osterberg.
Yeah.
They're just normal people. We're just normal people. You know, we're not at the Met Gala all the time on private jets, you know, in Bora Bora posting stuff, which there's no shade.
It's also interesting though, because TikTok has made it like okay to be more authentic. I feel like before, like
the apps have changed. Yeah,
the apps have changed so much. Like Instagram was so curated.
Instagram is becoming more, but I feel like now you're even getting people that are trying to be casual on Insta.
Yes.
Do you know what I'm saying? Do you notice like people's content is like, it's totally changed. Where you're like, this is curated chillness. Like, almost, you know what I mean?
Yeah. No, you're right. Yeah,
but TikTok has become, I feel like it opened the gates of people seeing like, okay, we can get people to be authentic on here. This is what people are craving. I feel like more right now is that authenticity on the apps.
I agree. Because it's just, people just want to feel a part of something.
100%.
I think.
I also think that you saying that once you opened your mouth, things really took off for you. That's something that we tell our listeners too, is like, get in front of the camera. I know it can be uncomfortable at times.
Yeah, it can be weird at first. It's for sure going to be weird because it's different.
And especially on an app like TikTok where trends and like dancing and just music is such a big part. If you can talk and kind of bring another sense into it, right? Like
you create your own trend in a way, and that's one big thing that I've realized is hanging around a lot of my friends. I always hear them just complaining, being like, "Oh man, there's no good sounds out right now. There's no good trends." And I go, "Thank God I do what I do because I'm not reliant on trends or sounds to go around. Like, you know, God forbid trends and sound just go away.
Yeah.
Half of these creators out there won't be creating.
Yeah,
they'd have to pivot. They'd have to figure out something else.
And they'd have to figure it out. But it's just so easy. And a lot of people just like it seems unfair at times when it's just like I sit there with my friends. And mind you, I'm very thankful for the friends that I have because they're doing very well. So like I owe a lot of my success right now to my friends that I hang around. So I'm not just going to take full credit. Oh yeah, I'm so great that I'm doing this, but it's nice to be able to just like set it up, click the button. I was wearing a fucking wig. Do you need me to stop?
No.
Oh. I was like, he's pointing at me. I was wearing my friend Markel's wig the other day and he's like sitting there brushing and I go, hold on a second. Whipped out my phone, put it right there, clicked it. And all I said was like, Don't ask. And I think as that happened, my the twins' mom is cooking us French fries, and the oil goes psh, and goes everywhere. And I was like, oh fuck! And we're just like, and it was just such a genuine, like, real 15 seconds that the thing pops off and has like however many million views. And I'm just like, the simplicity of the video, but the crazy and hecticness is just what makes, you know, it real and fun. So like when you guys sit here and you're like, oh, you're creative, I'm like, not really. All I did was just film a stupid little moment, you know, and
But there does a little bit of thought goes into it,
Yeah.
right? You're not just filming any and everything. Like,
sure.
There's a
laundry's
dryer.
done.
There
Yeah,
it is.
Great.
Laundry's ready.
Today's laundry day. Totally get that you're like, oh, I'm hanging with my friends that are doing well, and that's helping. It wasn't always like that. You weren't always collabing.
Yes,
I
true.
do want you to touch on the fact, though, that you recently have moved down to LA, and a lot of the people in your videos and that you've been hanging out with are, you know, like big creators on TikTok as well.
Yeah.
So how was that when you were living back home in Newport versus like now transitioning to living in LA? And like, has that helped? How has that transition been? Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah. I would say when I was at home in Newport, so Orange County.
Let's go. OC boys.
OC boys. I was much more on like
OC boys.
OC boys. I was it was more regimented for me. Like I had structure back at home because it's like I was at my parents' house and all I could focus on was growing and growing and growing. Like nobody could stop me. I was in this zone where like my screensaver were the goals of the week. And I'd say for the 4 or 5 months that I was down there, I hit every fucking goal. There was not one week where I was like, I didn't hit my goal. I didn't hit or surpass whatever it was. It was like, I kid you not, it was like your notes. You go to your notes and you like write shit out. It was, it'd always say 3 to 4 videos a week, or a day, 3 to 4 videos a day. If I was selling merch at the time, it was like sell X amount of merch. It was do one more other thing and get 50, like either 25 or 50,000 followers that week.
And your sole focus was TikTok.
That was it.
My
You were
sole
just wake
focus
up,
was
talk.
to-
Wake
yeah.
up, talk.
I would wake up at 8 o'clock in the morning. I would drive to my coffee shop, make a video. And it got weird at one point because I would go to the coffee shop and the baristas started recognizing and being like, oh my God, I didn't know you were on TikTok. And I was like, oh, cool. Like, thanks. And they would start giving me free drinks. But I felt like I was like finessing the system. So I went to like another coffee shop. I just didn't want anyone to like throw me off my thing. It was like, go in, grab coffee, sit in the car and talk. Because at that point I was giving dating advice. So all I would do is sit in the car, set it up on my steering wheel and like talk, right? So I'd wake up at 8, go to coffee shop, film from like 9 to 10, go home, ship out orders of the merch that I was selling, sometimes go live then, go back out around like 12 or 1, film another video, come back, and sometimes I was working with my dad at the time, so I'd like cut out that time to kind of like, you know, work. And then around 5, 7, make another video. And then if that video was hitting, then I was like, let's go again around 7 or 8.
Let's go live. Let's go another.
Then
one.
I'd go live. I'd go live at 8 or 9, and I'd always say, oh, it's just gonna be a quick live. It's gonna be a quick live. But I would go
3
live
hours.
for 2-3 hours easily. But it was so good because it curated the audience. It was like, it set the foundation. And for that, people were like, that's so cool. Like even big creators now, like big names, like saw what I did and they're like, bro, like I really respected that because like you're really connecting with the audience. And now they're like, for that reason, I feel, I could be wrong, I feel like they're very like ride or die. With
Do you
me,
feel
which is
very
really
in tune with your audience? Like, do you talk with them a lot in the DMs, or
I
do you
try
respond
not-
to some comments? Like, what does it look like now that you've gotten to? Because I feel like some people don't comment back at all at a certain level. And,
Sure.
you know, what does it look like between, you know, seeing your comments, reading them,
Yeah.
responding back? What does that look like right now for you?
I always said when I was a smaller creator on the platform, I was like, wow, that's like really rude that like these big creators don't give their fans. I don't like the term fans. I feel like it's degrading. I say just I say family. Like they're my family because they like created me.
How fucking cute, Troy. Just kidding.
Shut up, Costas. And I was always like, man, like these big creators aren't taking time to kind of like give back in a way, I guess. But I've realized since that once you open the gates, it just floods in. And I mean it in the sweetest way possible when I try to like, I try to be there for a lot of people. And if people like write me a nice DM being like, hey, thank you so much for this and this and this, or like I was going through a really tough breakup or whatever, and I could tell they put in the time and effort to really like reach out. Sometimes I'll respond. The only problem with that, and it just like, it kills me to say, is like most of the time I don't respond, solely because it's like, once you do, then therefore the gates open, they could kind of message as much as they want.
Yeah.
So it will get overwhelming at times, especially when you have, you know, a couple people doing that.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, more than a couple.
More than
I'm
a
sure
few,
you have a
yeah.
ton.
Yeah. There's a good amount of people doing that. So
And like, if you were to spend,
You'd spend
if
your
you
whole
would-
day.
yeah,
Yeah, you just open.
you
the
don't got
gate.
no time to make TikToks anymore.
Yeah.
You just responded to DMs.
Yeah, you know what's really funny? I don't know if this is me like exposing myself, but like when I was like in the thick of it in Newport, I remember I would go out, I'd film, I'd come back, I'd post it, and I'd send my I give Lexi, my sister, my phone. I go, Lexi, respond to everyone in the comments right now. She's like, really? I would pay her. I would pay my sister to fucking respond to people.
Oh, these poor girls thought they were talking to Troy and
No, because most of the time they were, like literally 99% of the time they were. But there was one like there was like a solid month where it was just like it was going. People were always like, first, oh, I'm here too early, whatever. And I would sit there and dude, it gets like my thumbs would start to hurt.
You're getting some cramps. You gotta.
Dude, I'm sitting there and I'm just like, hey babe, thank you so much, but Illy, blah, blah, blah. I had it down to a science. I'd post it and my mom would just watch me and I would just go like, hold on mom, give me like 5 minutes. And I would just go, and I was just responding. And so it got to the point where I was like, I gotta go work after I post this. So Lexi, here you go. And she'd sit there and she'd be like, okay, cool. I just did 10. I go, no, refresh it. And she'd refresh it and go like 100. And she's like, oh fuck, like how am I go, just do as many as you can. And
I think though there's a lesson there because Braden's read the 4-Hour Work Week. I think you should read it because I think you'd really like it. I'm like halfway through it. One of the things he talks about is like automating things that like aren't as important and not the best use of your time. I'm not saying responding to comments is not the best use of your time, but in like business, and like that's just one example of it, is if you're spending your time doing things that are maybe not the best use of your time, like fucking pay someone to do it for you.
Sure.
So yeah.
But then it also, I guess the argument is it kind of disconnects you from the people in a way, because it's like I used to have like solid relationships with the Tammys and the Britneys and the Scars. Like I would sit there and I would know exactly what they're going through, where they're from, what they're doing. Like I knew these kids, which was like super cool. Now it's like, now that I'm not doing that as much, I still know them. I could know more people, but like I just don't have that same connection. But again, it's just difficult. It's like there's so much more that's asked now the more you kind of progress into this lifestyle or career choice, if you will.
But yeah, so going back.
Sorry, that was a
no,
lot.
no, it's all good.
That was perfect.
So you said it was your lifestyle, or I guess your routine was a little bit more regimented.
Yes.
What is your, I guess, like, what does your day-to-day look like as a creator now?
Right now.
Looks pretty fun.
Yeah, looks like a good time.
Looks like a good time. I sleep in. That's cool.
That's good shit. You have
What
freedom.
time we waking
you
up?
have freedom now.
That is pretty cool. 10, but that's
Let's
way too
go.
much of a waste, dude. I don't do that. Like I usually don't.
You an early riser?
Yeah, usually like I love.
Do you stay up late now though?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
There it is.
We call them
So-
sketch boy hours.
Sketch
on the
boy
podcast.
hours. Yeah, that's
Sketch
what we
boy
call,
hours?
Yeah, that's what we call them. Anything
What-
past like midnight
Okay. To what?
to like 4.
I mean, the deeper
like
you
four.
go,
Yeah,
the
the deeper you
sketchier
go, the
are.
sketchier.
Yeah, but you never know. You have coasters up here at 5:30. Like,
No,
hey guys, you guys are running. You guys are fucking idiots.
Bro, I took my sleeping pills at fucking 8:30 last night. Got
You're
in bed,
kidding.
slept at 10, woke up at fucking 7.
I was up at like 4:15 last night, like outside, and I was sending Coasts a video. And he's up at like 5:30.
But this is
We're
real.
on very different wavelengths.
I've never been a morning person.
Really?
But we're trying to make some changes going into 2022.
Same. All right. Well, I'm gonna take that change with you.
Okay.
I just got a personal trainer, so I'm like super.
Really? Let's go.
Must be
Super
nice.
fired
At
up
a
about
gym or
that.
like at a home gym situation?
No, I like a legit gym.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay. Where are
yeah.
we going? Are we like Dog Pound or where are we going?
No,
Oh.
dude. I reached out to Dog Pound and they were like, "Oh, hey, here are our rates," and I go,
That's not what I meant.
"Oh, hey,
I don't know
all
if you
right."
see my TikTok.
Yeah,
man.
and then before you know it, I'm like hanging around these people, and then they're like, "Hey, do you want to come into our new like opening thing?" And I'm just like, "Dude, go fuck yourself." But like, yeah, now the LA regiment is like 10 o'clock, coffee. I still have that same mentality where it's like, oh, I need to be making a video to post at 12 o'clock. But I've realized sometimes if I don't have anything, let's just like not force it because it's just not going to do well because it's just not going to portray as like easy and lighthearted and fun, I guess, if you will, across the screen, which is so silly and stupid to say. But like, you know, if I have something. So I think like 2 weeks ago, I got pulled over by a lady cop and I like knew her perfume. So I literally like set it up, and at first she was kind of like a jerk to me until I like said something about her cologne or her perfume, and then she was like super cool and like let me off. So I like literally just like set the phone.
Only
and
something
yeah,
Troy
only-
could pull up.
yeah, and I was
Hey,
like,
sweetheart.
I like set up my phone.
I know what
and
perfume that is. She's like, shut up.
She's like,
What
shut
time
up,
you
put
on?
your hands on the
Driver's
wheel.
license,
I was
driver's
like,
license.
oh, okay, wait, hold on, baby.
Are you gonna arrest me?
I think I made a video about that, and it was kind of like comical, and I was like, guess who just got pulled over? And I like kind of like said my little story time. People loved it. So if I have something, I'm gonna do it. If I walk in the coffee shop and they're super nice, I'll make a video about it. If I'm not feeling it, then I'm not gonna do anything. And then I'll go over to my friend's house and we'll just sit there around like 3-4 is like, everyone's like, all right, cool. You guys want to start like kind of collabing? Because everyone starts like, people working 9 to 5 start getting off work. People on the East Coast have been back for like an hour or two. Like, it's very structured. Like the way these kids think is like very smart. And I've learned a lot by sitting around these creators, just being like hearing them listen or hearing them talk and just kind of like overhearing conversations. So now it's more just like 5 o'clock rolls around for me. Yo, let's make a couple videos. Bang, bang, bang.
Do you have your sounds locked in? So are you like, do you have them like favorites? Like you're like, okay, I have like 3 that we can go. Because we were literally planning out TikTok for this next year because like
We sat down yesterday and had a whole like
we had
TikTok
we had like an
strategy session.
hour.
But that's going to be difficult because if you were to do that, certain sounds will start to fade.
for sure.
So that's like one thing I would say I would kind of like look at. I only like videos if I'm going to use that sound or have got inspiration from that video. Does that make sense?
Okay, that's like me with saving them. I'll have them like my save sound or save videos is only I'm like, okay, we're gonna do this tomorrow, this today, like something like that.
Smart. Yeah. So
To go back and make it easier on yourself.
I do have a lot of saved sounds. Yes. But then I also just have like a lot of things where it's like people were talking and I was like, oh, I like that, but I can spin that. And use it
exactly.
This way. So it's all basically my save videos are a mood / inspiration board.
It's interesting because for us, we're talking like it's so hard to stay consistent, especially when Braden's working at the Lakers. I'm doing my other freelance stuff.
Yeah.
You have the luxury, right, of kind of doing TikTok basically full time.
Yeah.
I mean, along with like other stuff.
Yeah,
that you're-
along with all your other stuff.
other
yeah.
business stuff. But do you ever like batch content, or are you just like, yo, today we're ripping 3 to 4 TikToks and like that's today's work, and then tomorrow?
What do you mean by batch
So
content?
are you like on a Saturday going like, let's make 8 and I'll repurpose these for like Monday, Tuesday? Or are you
Okay.
Are you going
Like
daily?
batching
Like
content.
I'm waking up Monday, I got 4 today, which is so fucking impressive, by the way. Like I'm astounded that you can get out. Dude, during the pandemic when I had like an alter ego character and I was ripping like 3 or 4 of them a day, and it was fucking hard. I was like, dude, I can't even think of the storylines anymore for this character to like keep going with this character, you know?
But was it like an original character or you using sound?
No, I had made up this
really?
character and I
That's
was
humor.
like, got it. But it was spun off myself, so I was like, fuck, I can't keep making these up. Like, you know?
Yeah.
And then it just became Braden.
And then it became me.
That's funny. No, sometimes we'll put them in the drafts and save them for a rainy day. Sometimes if I really don't have anything to post like that day, I'll post like a draft of maybe a second choice that I hadn't posted maybe a week or 2 prior. But like I try my best just to kind of keep it like in the moment and authentic to like what that day looks like. But everyone has drafts. The amount of drafts I have right now is disgusting. But again, with that being said, a lot of it is just either acting videos I did where it's like I shot 10 times, I only chose 1. Maybe there's 9 that I should go through and start like tossing them out.
My OCD'd be going crazy.
Yeah, I know.
Just
Right now
100
mine's like 3,692.
Yo.
I don't even know. You guys want to know right now?
Yeah, I'm
Let
like
me go
so
get it real quick.
curious.
It'll take 2 seconds.
Tell me what it is. I have like 10.
Let's see. Let's get that plus 99 going.
No,
Every
okay,
time
it's
you
not
open
that
the
bad.
app, or what?
It's 1,537.
Still a lot.
Still, that's a big number.
It's definitely a big number, and the way that they like moved it. But see how it's like 3 like that,
Yeah,
and then 3 like that, and like You know, this was
Ladies and gentlemen, he has a ton of drafts.
This was the
Just a
stupid
shit
thing
ton of
that I was
drafts.
like, oh, this will be really funny. And then, so that's a second draft that I can like post. So yeah, I've never heard anyone say batch content. I didn't understand what that really
It's a
meant.
creator.
It's a career
It's a
term.
505 term.
I wouldn't know.
Coast made it up.
I want to
like that.
say, or I want to touch on the fact that you do crank out so much content. You are really consistent. On our last podcast, we were talking about things that we want to, goals we want to achieve in the new year. And I was like, yo, my word that I want for this upcoming year is consistency.
Yeah.
It's always been something that I haven't been great at. I start something, I pick it up, I'm consistent for a little bit, and then I fall off. And I really want to try to, this next year, have more consistency in all areas of my life. Would you say that consistency has played a huge part in your success and like?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Of course. Yeah, because you have to ride it when it's hot. And when it's not, you got to put in the extra effort to refuel that spark. Yeah, dude, consistency, that's the name of the game. I mean, some people like build an audience really fast and then they miss out on the consistency, which then kind of like leads to just lower numbers, because then people are like, okay, well, you kind of fell off, So I've seen like people blow up and then they just kind of like, now they have 3, 5, 6 million followers. They're getting like 10,000 views, 5,000 views. It's like, how does that correlate? It doesn't really correspond with like, so my biggest thing for you, I haven't seen your TikToks. Don't kill me. I'm sorry.
No, it's
By the
okay.
way, his teeth are really white. I mean, both of them have like really white teeth, but like
We whitened them right before we got on.
Okay.
He has veneers, actually.
No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't. I would know. But yeah, I'm a dentist. I would know. No, but like every time I like look in his direction, it's like very bright and just
The
letting
lights
you know.
too,
So kudos to you.
Hit me with that. Are you going to give me some advice?
Yeah.
Okay,
Give it to me. Give it.
I would give you, and this is my advice, is the reason that you struggle with consistency is because your videos are so high production. Like there's so much thought that goes into it. And I could tell sometimes it's like, oh, there goes Costa's with his 2 lights again and his mic box and where's the man with the boom? Like you've got a full setup,
Yeah.
which is great. There's nothing wrong with it. But it's just like, it's hard for you because after you crank out one thing, it takes you 20, 30 minutes to make.
100%.
Meanwhile, I just made 30
Mm-hmm.
in the amount of time that you spent, making one. So I'd say, for you, it's just like, and also it has to, like, people have to relate to it. Not everyone understands what ISO means. Not everyone understands what the Canon 360-70 split double-sided fucking jerk off camera does. Not everybody knows what that is. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just more of a niche market. I'd say just like the more relatable you can make it. Like everyone always liked, oh, I went to this location today and I shot this model. Here's how it turned out.
Yeah.
Because like that's really cool because it's like I'm telling you what I'm doing and wait for the end to see the results. I think it'd be really cool for you. And again, you shoot courtside at Lakers games, right? It'd be so sick for you if you were literally like on the court shooting, you had the basket there and you literally just set up your phone back there and you're just like shooting LeBron James. And it's just like, it's so easy and effortless that it feels like you're not doing anything, but that's what people love about it because it's just easy watching. Does that make sense?
He has to be careful though, because
Sure.
Yeah.
Certain things you can't. I get that. I get that. So
I like
that's
that.
another
And
topic.
dude, I've tried to do that this year. I feel like I've tried to use my phone way more. Because remember when we first moved in together? I mean, I was using the camera and doing this mic situation, and it did take a half hour to fucking make a video. And then
it
it's like
does,
you do one, you edit. I'm like, okay, I'm done. Like that's it. I'm done.
Yeah.
But I've tried to use the phone. I've been able to do way more in a day, or like save them and whatnot. And
Yeah.
I feel like it's just made my life way easier using just the phone. It's
Totally.
it's still a bitch though to come up with them. Like it's tough to come up with the ideas for them.
They always say that, and I don't know who says this, but a lot of people say that the app knows that if you like film it outside the app versus inside the app. I don't know if that's just a bunch of like bull, but yeah, dude, the more you could just make it like easy and like less try hard, because whenever you like watch something and you could tell it's like they put a lot of effort into it, unless it's like your video where it was the sunglasses thing where this camera was going like that and it was so high production that it needed to be like, that's what it was. I was like, this is fucking sick. But like there's also times when it's like people put in a lot of like effort to like make a video and it just flops because people are like, oh, that's try hard. Like I don't know why people think that way. It's just like sometimes they're like, oh, that's try hard. Meanwhile, like Dixie D'Amelio's like eating a sandwich and it has millions of views.
Yeah.
sure, the given is Dixie D'Amelio, but at the same time, it's like people sit there and it's like, she's just eating a sandwich. Why am I watching someone eat a sandwich? And people will like sit there and make fun of you, but like, bro, they're like, it's so easy. I could do that. Does that make sense?
Have you had to deal with any hate comments in your personal content?
Oh yeah, dude.
Troy?
I got
Haters?
I got roasted so many times, man.
How do you deal with that?
But yeah, at that level, right? You're getting, because I was just talking to like some of my friends that have bigger audiences, right?
Yeah.
And they're saying like as we've gotten bigger, we've gotten more love, but there's obviously come more hate with the more love thing.
Sure,
You
it comes in waves, man.
Yeah.
I mean, there's always like, listen, people are like so quick to like build you up just to like tear you down, which is kind of unfortunate. But everyone always has something to say. That's like my biggest thing is like everyone has an opinion. They're all entitled to their own opinion, and they can do whatever they want. And I saw I read something or watched a TikTok literally recently, and the guy said, he said, "You're putting yourself out there. You're putting your personal life out there." He goes, "You accept the likes, you're gonna have to accept the hate." And I was like, I like that. That makes a lot of sense. It's like, you want that. If you can accept all the good, you're gonna have to accept the bad because it's gonna come. It's gonna come. I mean, you try your best to like be numb and like, say, oh, whatever. But I've heard things so many times it doesn't affect me as much anymore. But sometimes you're just not in the mood. Sometimes you just don't want to hear it. And you're just like, really? But I just don't highlight it. I don't entertain it, And I was just talking to one of my friends about this. And I go, it really frustrates me when these creators make content solely based off of hate, responding to hate comments. And the reason being is you post a video and you get 100 comments. I'd say 95% of those comments are gonna be really nice. 5% of those comments, 5 of those comments are gonna be, don't really care for this one, hate this one. And like as humans, we start, thinking negatively because we're like, oh, the 5% are hating on us. Now to prove to them, I'm gonna make up a video highlighting their comment and I'm gonna tell them. But what they're really doing is they're just putting a spotlight on this hate. And it's like, dude, what the fuck are you doing? Like, why would you bring Debbie Downer 6912 over here, who has
Give her a pedestal, give her a
2
platform.
followers, following 1,000 things, and all they do is hate. All they are is a troll, and give them like some sort of spotlight. Like, why?
Yeah.
And it really frustrates me because I'm just like, dude, there's so many people that look up to you and like love you and send you so much love. Why wouldn't you highlight them? Why wouldn't you just like highlight them being like, you've changed my life, or which seems like a bit ridiculous, but like, people have, or like, oh my God, like you get me through hard days, or I love this so much. Like, why wouldn't you do that? Why is it gotta be, oh, you think I'm shitty? Oh, well, what do you think about my new Christian Louboutins that I just bought? It just, to me, I'm just like, that's stupid.
Yeah.
That's really stupid. So yeah, there's hate. Everyone hates on it. I've got roasted a billion times. I have so many stitches and duets out there that have millions of views where people were just like, oh, you're gay. You're fake. You're this.
Whatever, yeah.
I've heard
Walking red flag.
Dude, walking red flag. I've heard it so many times. I'm just like, dude.
You almost like kind of become numb to it a little bit because you're like, yo, hey, hit me with something original.
Yeah.
Dude,
You know?
honestly.
exactly.
And sometimes if I do see like a comment that like is original, I'll be like, that's a pretty good one. I won't say anything, but
your
I'll
cap.
I'll be like, you know what, kudos to you. That's pretty funny.
I will say though that you before you even got like super big, you would get even some hate from like people that you knew as well, right?
Oh yeah.
And I think that a lot of kids who are trying to be creators, like filmmakers, or maybe start talking to the camera for the first time, they're maybe a little bit insecure, like nervous of like, oh, this is what people are gonna think of me if I put myself out there, try something new. So like, do you have any advice for that, dealing with either like hate online or even like people's friends being like, yo, like, what the fuck are you doing?
I had so much hate when I started making
Yeah.
shit on the internet.
Dude, why is
I don't know why people. Well, I think because it's different.
It's people closest to you.
Yeah, I feel like it's different though, because it's like, okay, sometimes people just don't want to see you win, and then you can find that out about friends and be like, oh, fuck this guy. This guy doesn't-" you know what I mean? Seriously, I feel like I cut off a lot of people in college that were like, this isn't cool or whatever. And now it's like a full-time thing and it's cool now. And it's like,
Sure.
you know what I mean? Then they're like, oh, that's so sick. It's
Got a
like,
little
fuck you.
notoriety.
You weren't there when it was like, when it wasn't cool. in
Yeah,
the
you
beginning.
weren't there when I was shooting in the gym.
Yeah,
though.
exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, no,
Literally.
I feel that, man. I feel like it's it's just a part of life. It's mostly like when kids just haven't figured out themselves. And they're like, you know what? It's so much easier to like hate on someone and bring them down to my level. And again, that's so cliche to say.
Yeah.
I hate to say that. But once you get like a taste of the success, if you will, I don't like slinging around that term like, you know, like I'm some huge success, but like once you start seeing results, it's like going in the gym for the first month, you're going to hit it. And people are going to be like, bro, like you look at exactly the same. But once you see once you see that one ab popping out, dude, you're like, oh, I'm going twice as hard. And once you see, you know, the 2 and the 3 and the 4, then your friends are like, wait, dude, I got to go to the gym with you. I gotta get in.
What's your meal plan?
Yeah, exactly.
What's your split?
Then all of a sudden they're like super curious on like how to get it. It's gonna happen, sure, but like you just gotta stay focused with what is. I always say, and this is what I would say for anyone that's trying to start, aside from the hate, because like fuck the hate. I don't want to talk about hate anymore. It's stupid.
Next topic.
There's no perfect time. There's no fucking perfect time. They always go, when you want to get, like, I want to get started. Cool, make a video. No. I want to make sure that, no. Stop talking.
But it'll be
next
once
week.
I get this.
Once I get the light. Once I get the.
Just do it.
I don't have the nicest camera. I can't start making videos.
Just make.
Just do it.
Doesn't your phone take a photo?
Yeah. Everyone has so many excuses, and what it is like so many people are afraid of success. And like I've been there, dude. I like literally a month ago, I was talking with my friend Aaron, the curly fuck guy. I just want to party with you.
Yeah.
And we're sitting there at Saddle Ranch, or not Saddle Ranch, at Wood Ranch or something. And I'm like, bro, the trends don't work for me anymore. Because I had a little phase like the past 2 months where it was like I was working the trending sounds, and I could just see my videos weren't doing well because that's just not what I do, right? And I was like, I got to open my mouth. And he's like, do it.
It's like, open up.
Yeah. And he's like, then do it. And I go, I don't know why I'm so nervous. And he's like, you've done it before. And I go, I know. But he goes, what, are you just afraid of success? And you've said that one time. Costa's told me that. And I was like,
we were drinking a little bit.
yeah.
Troy, let me tell you something.
No, and it was so good. I always have great talks with Costas, man. I love you, man.
Troy gets sick of me calling. I called Troy. Man, I'll be driving somewhere. I'm
sit
like,
there
yo, I
and
got
it's
an
like
hour to kill, dude.
Voicemail. Costas, fuck, dude.
Cause I'm busy right now.
No, it's just, I told him, I was like, dude, I'm just afraid. He's like, what are you afraid of success? And that's kind of like what I feel like a lot of people are afraid of. It's not a fear of them like losing.
Because there's nothing to lose when you first
There's
start.
nothing to
there's
lose.
legit nothing
Exactly.
to
That's
lose.
where I was going.
No
There's-
one's going to see shit. Yeah.
So it's just like, my biggest piece of advice is start now. There's no perfect time. You don't need that fancy light. You don't need that fancy camera. You don't need that person. It doesn't need to be a perfect day. It could be rainy and you could still create the same kind of content that you would have the next day or a week from day or 2022. Like everyone's New Year's resolutions, like, oh, I want to start in 2022, January 1st. You're not going to.
Yeah.
You're literally not going to. You'll be like, oh, tomorrow. I'm a little hungover from New Year's Eve. No, you're just not going to do it. And it just like, you keep pushing it. The sooner you start, the quicker you'll start to see results. And like, that's just what you have to do. It's just like, you just start it and it'll give you a little
Momentum.
boost.
Yeah. It's like
Yeah.
it's like a muscle. Once you start getting it, it's just, you know,
Then you're good.
And you've made so many videos, you know, you've really got
Sure.
into like a routine
Sure.
on the internet. Tell us a little bit about what's 2022 look like for you?
I'm so fired up, dude.
Really? You're hyped.
Come
on,
let's
go.
I'm so fired up, baby. I'm so fired up.
This is our year.
Break the mic.
Our year, sorry. Smoke, smashing on the table, hold projections. Like, I'm excited.
Podcast over.
I'm really excited for 2022. There was a little blip in 2021 because I got my account banned, so I was like going really heavy in the whole TikTok. And then
Kostas told me about this.
and I had a little ban, and that kind of put a little damper on things for like a couple months.
You were gone for a few months.
Yeah, I was gone for a few months, so I had to restart a whole new account. But I took an account from 0 to 200 something K, which is pretty cool.
And
like,
then you got the other account.
and I got the other one back, so now I've got
okay.
2. But
Thank God! Wow.
yeah, I know, crazy.
Wait, how did you have to go talk to people at TikTok directly, or how did that?
Dude, everyone. I
went to
literally-
Mr. TikTok's house.
I drove to fucking TikTok's headquarters, walked up, and they denied me. And I go, how many people come here? They go, every day. They go, every day kids come here. And I go, yeah, well, I have like...
But I'm
I have like 1 million followers. And they're like, I don't fucking care. Get out of my office, kid. Like, do you have no idea? For 3 months, people are like, how did you get it back? How did you get it back? And I feel so bad. But when I got my account banned, I realized who my friends were and who my friends who wasn't my friends, weren't my friends. Dude, like when that happened, I had so many people unfollow me. People like stopped reaching out. And I was like, whoa, dude, like that's kind of,
Because you ain't got that clout no more.
yeah, that was kind of gnarly. And I was
my
like,
God.
that's a bummer. But then I was like, I hit up people. I was like, yo, do you know anyone? And everyone was like, no, sorry. And I was getting really mad for a second. I was like, Mom, like this sucks. Like I feel like my friends aren't there for me. And she goes, Troy, like, what are they supposed to do? Like, they don't know anybody at TikTok. And I go, okay. So I like, kind of was a bit more understanding. Anyway, so that was a bit difficult. That put a little blip on things. And I was on track until that happened. We're back on track. 2022. I keep on saying music's coming. It's coming. The song's in the wheelhouse. We're ready to go. That's all I want to do. I just want music. I grew up playing sports. I was very competitive, and it gave me like that high. Music is the only other thing that like matches that high. Not acting, not making TikToks, not modeling or anything like that, which I don't do very much of anymore. Is like music is the only other thing that gives me like that same outlet and like, kind of. So music's coming. I'm telling you right now, mark my words, by the end of 2022, I will have like 10 million plus on TikTok. I'll have 1 million followers on Instagram. Not that I need, but that's like my goal, and it's gonna happen. Like, it's just like, you're just
a matter of time.
You're just not gonna stop me. Yeah. And music's just gonna be,
So that's what you're focusing on.
Yeah.
It's still obviously going
it's
hard at
growing,
TikTok.
growing. That if I can create a show, like a little reality show, that'd be super cool. I want to start a podcast. I have so many different things that I want to start, but I'm like,
Always
let's just,
jocking
like,
my swag.
always.
dude.
I actually wanted to call it 506 because it would be like a little level up than 505. If you
Sure.
might take
Just
your
doesn't
boy.
sound
You
as
never know.
good.
I'll start putting him on salary before you know it. Goes just sitting here, just like, well, welcome to 504 minus one. But dude, 2022 is gonna be good. Everyone's always like, oh, this is my year. This is my year. It's like, it's already my year. Like,
Let's
I'm
go.
good. I'm not gonna say this is going to be my year. It's my year. It's
your year.
Like the mindset's just like so there, and I'm like tunnel vision. I see it all like laying out. I've been writing in my little manifestation journal.
Big manifester.
Hell yeah.
Not huge, but I'm working on it because it's not easy. I don't think it's easy. I sit there and I watch like Jim Carrey and all them like talk about manifestation. I'm like,
Jim Carrey's big into it.
dude, he really is. He really is. Like the whole like $10 million check thing. Like I love that mentality and that vibe. So yeah, to answer your question, sir, I know I keep on getting sidetracked and stuff.
good.
I told you I had a lot to say. A lot of times I feel like I'm not answering the question. I'm just telling a stupid, pointless story. So I apologize. But yeah, 2022 is going to be a good year for all of us. I'm just like, it's going to be the year where like I just surround myself with, which I already am starting to do. I guess my biggest New Year's resolution is to make more friends.
Dude, that's one of mine.
That's what we were talking about the other day.
I think that's like my biggest thing is just, I just want good friends, but like that all have the same like mentality where it's like, go. I have great friends. They're still like my day ones, but I made a new group of friends, and I was talking to my new group of friends of like how much easier it is to connect and kind of like talk, especially when we're all on the same kind of wavelength, same path, same journey, if you will. Whereas my other friends they're great and I love them to death. They'll always be my ride or dies. But it's just like being friends with a professional athlete. It's like, I just don't know that lifestyle. Or like, you understand?
Yeah, totally.
So that's my biggest New Year's resolution is just making new friends.
I love that.
So if anybody wants to be my friend.
Yeah. Hit him up in the DM. He probably won't respond.
Stop.
No, just kidding.
Stop.
Okay. This is a more fun question.
Okay.
Speaking of friends, I've known you for a minute. You're the most quote unquote in the scene kid I know out
Why do
here
you
in LA.
say that? You don't have any other friends that are
No,
in the
I
scene?
don't. I
Really?
don't. Dude, yeah.
I
All
don't
my
think
friends
I'm-
just fucking make videos and shit.
You're in the scene, just behind the scenes.
Yeah, exactly.
Coming from the kid who shoots loud luxury, where are you going tomorrow?
We're going to Dallas.
Ooh.
Then we're
Who's
going to
we?
Wait, you're
Phoenix.
leaving tomorrow?
Yeah.
Yeah.
8:40 in
What?
the morning.
Tell us your plan
Yeah,
for
would you
tomorrow.
You didn't tell me that. I didn't know you.
Thank you.
What?
And don't try to say that I'm in the
I'm
scene.
about
Listen
to
to
be
this
so
kid's
alone.
Listen to this kid's itinerary.
when do you come
for the
back?
weekend.
The second.
Oh, okay.
Gone for New Year's.
Oh, yeah. Okay,
Yes, we're going to
okay.
Dallas and
Okay.
hopping on a PJ, going to Phoenix,
Bang.
Don't-
going to Decadence, and then going to Atlantic City.
Yeah.
Just bang, bang. And then you're right back
It's
on
just
the
another
second.
day.
PJs, traveling like
I'm
5
actually really
different
excited.
continents in a day.
Yeah, dude.
And then you're right
Around
back.
the globe.
Unreal.
No sleep. You're not going to sleep at all for the next. Like,
no
definitely
sleep. bus, none
Another
of us,
club.
club.
Another
yeah,
club.
but seriously, that's sick. You're living the lifestyle. So
You are that audience.
But yeah, man,
he is in the scene, just behind the scenes. Anyways, proceed.
But you're at this trailer house, you're hanging around all these, people who are pretty successful on social media. Like, what is that like? It must be really cool to be at this house, I guess, like collabing, but the kind of stuff that you're talking about, like all these kids have had success on social media and kind of live a lifestyle that's just not so normal.
Sure.
So what is that like energy? What's that like being around those creators? And also, are like some of those creators different in person than you originally thought?
Oh yeah. Yeah. There's a lot of
They say LA is pretty fake. Would you say it?
Okay. Well, I feel like I got really lucky. The friends that I have now are just good, genuine people. They're like the sweetest people I've met in a long time, and they all have like a really good head on their shoulders. I knew that I was not living a normal lifestyle the second I went to Compound, which is another house. That's Compound was in Calabasas, which is where like all
Must be a small house, right?
Yeah,
It's called
tiny,
Compound.
tiny.
Yeah, it was really tiny. Yeah, it just felt like a bowling alley and like 20 different rooms. I knew I was living an interesting lifestyle when like I show up. It was like my first or second time being there, and we're in the studio, and we're with a whole bunch of like pretty like really big kids, and they go, yo, everyone, your car's outside to this one specific creator kid. And we like run outside, and here just comes a fucking Rolls Royce truck, just like coming off the bed, brand new, white, blue rims, blue little angel, blue interior, star, like shooting stars everywhere. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, I turn to my other friend who lives with this specific individual, and I go, how much does, and before I even finished the sentence, trying to say, how much does this kid make? They go, a lot. That's all they said. They literally just said, he does well. And I was like, okay.
There it is.
With that being said, a lot of the kids that I've met through these people are really nice people. A majority of them are just really nice, down-to-earth kids that had success from whatever states. A lot of them aren't from LA, so like they're really cool. Like Texas, it's the Southern hospitality. Alabama, Florida, New York.
Random places. They're all from all
like
over.
Maryland. It's like, what do you do? And
Is that in the U.S.?
yeah, right.
Where's Maryland?
Yeah. And for the most part, a lot of these kids are like really good kids. They've all got a good head on their shoulders. There are, I can't say names on this. The one person that really surprised me was Bryce Hall. And I would say is like, that kid is exactly like, what you see is what you get.
There it is.
He doesn't sugarcoat it, and he's the nicest person. He's just a really nice person.
Just unapologetically himself.
Yeah.
That's all you can ask.
gotta respect that.
I really liked him. I thought it was all like a show thing, and he's supposed to be like the douche or whatever. I think he's a really good kid. I don't like seeing like all these people being like, oh, I hate Bryce Hall, I hate this, I hate that. It's just like,
You're like, you don't know him.
Yeah.
you don't know him, and it's like cool to like sit there and like just kind of chat with him and see what he's all about. He's super cool. The Mion twins are like the sweetest girls. Those are the girls that I've been hanging out with. The sweetest things I've ever met in my entire life. So like such great friends of mine, and like always there when I need them to like bring up good vibes, or if I have questions about anything. Like we literally hang out like all the time, and they're just like so cool. I know like Taylor Holder, super nice kid. Like always, like I pay attention to like the small like little details. And I had my assistant come out to like a little event that we had for a release party, and Taylor like was the first one. She was kind of standing off in the corner because I was like running around like saying hi to everyone. Taylor like went up, was like, hey, I'm Taylor, like how are you? And I was like, that's really cool that he would do that. He doesn't,
He doesn't have to.
Yeah.
he doesn't have
do stuff
to.
like
He doesn't
that,
have to. For the most part, everyone's a really good person. There are those people where I'm like, wow, I followed you on TikTok for so long. And when people are like, don't meet your idols kind of thing. Not that they're my idols. It's just like having that interaction with them. And I love to give people like multiple chances, because sometimes people have like off days, or they're just not in the mental headspace to kind of be like, hey, I'm so-and-so, There are those people that are like just living the LA lifestyle, to say the least. They're just in the bathroom doing Yeah, I didn't realize they had Big Bear in the bathroom.
Oh, dude, just hitting the slopes.
They were hitting some serious slopes. So these kids are just wasted at like 18 years old. And I'm
I
like,
thought you were going to say at 8 in the morning.
yeah. Oh, no, I mean, that
8 a.m.,
too.
baby.
Yeah. No, some of these kids are just like, I'm like, whoa, like I followed you for a long time. I didn't expect that. There was only two people that I didn't really necessarily care for. Sure. But I just haven't, it was one time and I just don't associate myself with them. So like, that's totally fine. But I'd say most of the people that you see are just really good people. There are people that put it on in front of the camera.
Sure.
I just feel like that's draining though. I feel like a lot of people like having to put on a persona in front of the camera and then be something different behind is just like, it'll get to you, it kind of catches up to you. So, yeah, to answer your question, everyone's super cool. Most people are super cool. There's the curveballs, but that's just life.
Yeah.
And
Do you have a dream collab or someone that you haven't worked with yet that you really want to work with? I guess like a ton in music, right? But like, or maybe is there a creator that you really fuck with, that like you really like their content that inspires you, that you would like to collab with, that you haven't? We have a huge platform, so he'll probably see this and reach out. Or her.
I think just off the top of my head right now, I don't know. I feel like I've collabed with a lot of cool people. Noah's cool. Noah would be like a cool like thing. But I've met him before. We've met once. I've followed him since 600K, and then like it was cool seeing him kind of like grow. And
He's gained like a few extra 100,000 since then.
Yeah.
I
Couple.
mean,
That was
like,
a couple.
No, Beck, right?
Couple.
2 or 3 people said something like that.
Yeah.
No, super nice kid, and I think it'd be kind of cool. I mean, we've hung out before, but it would be cool to like be like, hey man, you want to make a video? You know, but I'm not like that type. I'll just kind of like let it kind of happen naturally.
If it happens, it happens. If not,
Exactly. But
it's cool.
Yeah, man, it's cool. So I'm living life. I'm having fun.
I love it.
You know, we could
Let's
always be doing a little bit better, but I feel like that's just kind of the competitive nature / spirit in me, and always just room for improvement.
I love it.
I love it.
Yeah,
Well,
man.
yo, thank you so much for coming on the pod. Where can the people find you? Where should they follow you at? Where should they check out your stuff?
Well, you could check me on Backdoor Sluts 3.
There it is.
Oh, has that dropped yet?
That's
2.
out.
Well, that's January. But
January 1.
Dude,
Gen 1.
start 2020 off with a bang.
Kostas made that joke, and I was like, I got to put it in here somewhere. Just Troy Osterberg, man. Just throw me up on the screen. You don't have to follow me if you don't want to.
Go check it out.
Oh yeah. Well, dude, thank you for coming
Yeah,
on.
thank you for coming on. We
Thank
appreciate
you, brother.
you. We appreciate
thank you,
That
my
was
boys.
fun.
Thank you. Sorry if I talk too much.
No,
That's what this is all about.
and we'll see you guys all next week. Peace.
Peace.
Peace.